Hi, this is Christian, and this is a video explaining the second prototype, which is the one with 5 cans. I've turned the sound off in the background because it got a bit annoying in the first video. I'll turn it on when it needs to be turned on. So, just a quick overview of this is that it's essentially just an expansion on the first Maxpatch, in that the portamento is the same. This whole section is the same here, and this section up here is the same for the harmonic control. The only real difference is in the Arduino subpatch there's more inputs, and this kind of slider section is split into 5 different sections. So starting from the top, the Arduino subpatch takes in the serial data and unpacks it, same as the one before. And what I failed to mention in the first video is the sort of calibration system, which is quite rudimentary. Because all of the sort of Lego string potentiometers are slightly different to each other in the way that I glued the sort of knob to the axle. It's got these sort of it outputs different values from when the can is at the bottom to when the can is at the top. So you have to record these and like hold one at the bottom, record it, hold it at the top. So this is the different recorded values, and then you input them into the scale objects. So they're all kind of equalized. Anyway, so each string potentiometer gives 2 outputs. One is the up and down motion, and one is the swinging motion. And it's split into 2 sliders per control unit, I guess they're called. I haven't really figured out a name for what they are yet. So you have your up and down motion, your swing motion for the first one, up and down motion, swing motion for the second one, up and down motion, swing motion for the third one, and so on. And this is all sent out and received over here. And this is the input 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So 1 is the up and down motion of the first can, 3 is the second can, and so on. So I can play the sound. You can hear, so say I was moving the 4th can up and down, it would do this. Moving the 5th can. So it's essentially just controlling a different note in the chords. So this information is sent out to a call object. And the call object is the same as in before, in that it contains 8 different chords, but each slider is only connected to the first note of each chord. So slider 1 controls these values, slider 2 controls these values, slider 3 controls these values, and so on. So when you're moving the cans around in different places and stuff, you're getting all these different notes from different chords. So I took a while kind of getting it so that all these notes are related and sound quite nice together, even if some are kind of dissonant. There's still this quite nice kind of harmonic relationship between all of them, which is quite difficult to accomplish actually. So like I said before, the Arduino serial data is scaled between 0 and 8. It goes here. It's sent through this number box, which triggers a bang and triggers this message, which is just a number, and it's packed together and then sent to this message box, which is then sent to the call object. So it goes bang, then the number of where the slider is there, and then the number here. And the 1 is representative of the number in the list, the number of the item in the list, I guess. So 1 is that note, 2 is this note, 3 is that note. So this 1 is the first note, this 2 is the second note, and so on. So usually these have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they all control different things. And they all output a bang here, which is received over here in these message boxes, which triggers the sounds to be, or the frequency to be sent to the glides and then to the cycle object. Like I said before, if you want to know how all this cycle object, the modifier, and the harmonic rate and gain and all this stuff works, then go back to watch the first video because it explains it in a lot more detail. One of the issues faced with having 5 cans is ambiguity in the sound, in that if someone's controlling this sound and they move this one, you can hear there which note is being changed, but if you're changing things all the time, people kind of can get a bit lost in what they're controlling. So if you turn this harmonic rate up a bit and the harmonic phase up a bit, this is something that I didn't really intend to happen when I implemented this. I thought this was just quite a nice sound to have these sort of every note pulsating, but it really helps with the sort of splitting out of notes, in that if someone is changing a sound when it's right at the top of its gain on here, they can really easily hear what sound they're changing, and they can start relating to their can, especially if they haven't used the system before, and then they can sort of pinpoint what they're doing. The modifier also helps with this because each can has its own modifier for each note, so you can, if you pull the can towards you, it'll change the intensity of a note, and by changing that intensity you can tell what note you're controlling quite easily. But this ambiguity is something that is very hard to overcome when you have a lot of items in a system which people are controlling, especially if you have this kind of sonic qualities which I'm after, which are these sort of floaty, very smooth sounds rather than something more rhythmical. So yeah, that's the 5 cans example.